We are going to look at the terms in enzyme catalysis. But first, let's take note that an enzyme is any substance, right, that catalyzes biochemical reactions. Is it not? Substance that catalyze biochemical reactions. There are reactions taking place in our system as we are, and those reactions, if we don't have something to speed them up, then life cannot proceed as it is, because the reactions naturally are slow. So we need something to speed up those biochemical reactions, and those things that speed up the biochemical reactions are called what? Enzymes. And one thing you need to note about the enzymes is that they are proteinous in nature. All enzymes are proteins, but are all proteins enzymes? No, right? So all enzymes are proteins, but not all proteins are what? Enzymes. It's just like saying all girls are humans, but not all humans are girls, because some humans are boys, right? Now, the terms in enzyme catalysis. Number one, cofactor. Please, let's take note of all these terms, because as we go on in this topic series, we are going to be using all these topics, and I will assume you already know their meaning. So listen attentively now. Now, cofactor. We already agreed that enzymes catalyze biochemical reactions, right? But the enzyme is a big molecule that have different parts. We say enzymes are proteinous in nature, is it not? But still, we have the non-protein part of it. Now, the non-protein component of an enzyme is called the what? Cofactor. So the cofactor is the non-protein component of an enzyme. And the cofactor can be broadly divided into coenzyme and prosthetic group. Now, coenzyme, the function of cofactor generally is they assist the enzyme. So they are helpers. We can call cofactors helper molecules. So they help the enzymes to become active. There are some enzymes. Most enzymes exist in our body in the inactive form. Take for example, fibrin is an enzyme. It is involved in blood clotting, right? But it does not exist in the body as fibrin, because it exists in the inactive form in the body. Just take for example, if fibrin was active in the body, it means as you're sitting down here, there will be intravascular blood clotting, right? So inside you, fibrin will just be clotting your blood, making your blood so clot. And before you leave this class, as you stand up like this, you just be stiff like this, because blood is not flowing again. All right, so fibrin exists in our body as fibrinogen, the inactive form, and it is only activated during injury, site of injury. Then fibrin becomes active to clot the blood at that point. So some enzymes exist in our body in the inactive form. And what helps in activating enzyme? The non-protein component of it, cofactors. Cofactors, they are non-protein components of an enzyme that assist the enzyme, that helps in activating that enzyme. Do you understand? And cofactors can generally be divided into coenzyme and prosthetic group. If that non-protein component is organic in nature, we call it coenzyme. The coenzymes, they are non-protein attachments to the enzyme. Now, these coenzymes, most of them are active forms of vitamins. We are going to take vitamin as a topic. The active forms of vitamins. Example, NAD+. What's the full meaning of NAD+? Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, right? Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. This is the oxidized form. This nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, the oxidized form. This is what? Flavin adenine dinucleotide. Then biotin. We have other ones. We have vitamin B12, the active form, cyanocobalamin. All those things, they are coenzymes. And remember, coenzymes, are they the protein part or the non-protein part? Are they organic or inorganic? Organic. Now, prosthetic group, they are also cofactors. Remember, cofactors are like attachments, non-protein attachments to the enzyme. Prosthetic group can either be organic or inorganic in nature. Their function is still to assist the enzyme. Examples, we have metal ions like cobalt, magnesium, copper, iron, and others. Now we have metalloenzyme. This one is very specific. Metal ions attached to the enzyme. Metalloenzymes. Are metal ions organic or inorganic? They are inorganic. So metalloenzymes are metal ions. There are some enzymes that require metal ions for their activity. For example, in the glycolytic pathway, the glycolytic pathway is the pathway involving breakdown of glucose to give pyruvate. And that pathway is a 10-step reaction. I'll not go into it because it's beyond the scope of this class. Those of you in BCH, you do it in BCH 220. Now, glycolysis. In glycolysis, the first step is glucose being converted to glucose 6-phosphate. And the enzyme catalyzing that reaction is hexokinase. Now, this hexokinase here cannot function properly without the help of this metalloenzyme, magnesium ion. Magnesium ion assists hexokinase to function properly in catalyzing this reaction. Alright, so metalloenzymes are inorganic metal ions that assist the enzymes. Now, Apoenzyme. Anytime you hear Apoenzyme, remember now that the enzyme contains the protein component and the non-protein components, right? The non-protein component of the enzyme is the what? Cofactor. Now the protein component is what? Apoenzyme. So Apoenzyme is the protein part of the enzyme, the proteinous part of the enzyme. And you agree with me that it is the proteinous part of the enzyme that catalyzes the reaction, right? That is the main enzyme, is it not? But it's just that we need attachment because the Apoenzyme like that is inactive, cannot function until we attach something that will make it active. Is it not? Now, Apoenzymes is a protein component, the protein portion of the enzyme. Now, next thing is Holoenzyme. Holoenzyme is the whole enzyme, the complete enzyme. So, for the enzyme to be active, remember we have the protein portion and the non-protein portion, right? That is why we say Holoenzyme is Apoenzyme, the protein portion, plus cofactor, the non-protein portion. Are we following? Are we following? Next thing is isoenzymes. You know of isomers, right? Isomers have the same molecular structure, different structural. Is it? The same molecular formula, different structural formula, right? Now, isoenzymes, we already know that enzymes are proteins in nature, right? And the building block of protein is what? Amino acid, right? And the primary structure of protein gives us what? What gives us the primary structure of protein? I will not continue. I taught this. I taught primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, and quaternary structure of protein. So the amino acid sequence. The amino acid sequence is what gives us the primary structure of protein. The amino acid sequence gives us the primary structure of protein, right? Now, this amino acid sequence, when we talk about isoenzymes, they have different amino acid sequence, that is different proteins, but they catalyze the same reaction. Different amino acid sequence, but they catalyze the same reaction. Take for example, see this stuff here, this glucose or glucose isocyate. Another enzyme that can catalyze this reaction is glucokinase. Though glucokinase is still an hexokinase, but this is more specific. Alright, so enzymes that have different amino acid sequence but catalyzes the same reaction, they are called what? Isoenzyme. For example, our build-up is different, but if we are doing the same job, we are isoenzymes, right? Different amino acid sequence catalyzing the same reaction, isoenzyme. Now, substrates. How many of you have seen cassava grinder before? Cassava grinder. Not in picture, in real life. Cassava grinder is used to grind cassava, right? Look at that cassava grinder, that machine, as the enzyme. And if it is the enzyme, This is how it is for those of you that have not seen it. You're brought up in Port Harcourt. Hey. This is the one I saw, so please, anything that I draw here is correct. Okay, something like this. But you know that where they will put cassava is there, Abi. This is where they used to put cassava. Leave this part. This part is that place they used to hold like this. The one they used to push. Now, if you want to grind the cassava, listen, if you want to grind the cassava, is it here you put the cassava or here where the grater is? Where the grater is, right? Now, if this is the enzyme, that cassava that you want to convert into product, Gary, that cassava is the substrate. Do you understand? The substrate is that substance that you are putting with the enzyme for the enzyme to catalyze. That substance that the enzyme is catalyzing is called the what? Substrate. I gave an example here, glucose. So glucose 6-phosphate, and the enzyme is hexokinase. What is the substrate of this reaction? What is the substrate? What is the enzyme catalyzing? No, the hexokinase is the enzyme. And the hexokinase is converting glucose to glucose 6-phosphate. So what is the substrate of this reaction? Glucose. What is the product of this reaction? Glucose 6-phosphate. So the substrate is that substance that the enzyme is converting to product. Do you understand? So cassava is the substrate here. Why this is the enzyme? But enzymes have active sites. If cassava grinder here is our enzyme, if you put the cassava here on this wood, will it grind the cassava? You have to put it where the grater is, right? That place where the grater is, where you put the substrate for catalysis to take place, is called the active site of the enzyme. Do you understand? The active site of the enzyme is that particular portion of the enzyme where you put the substrate for catalysis to take place. So if this is an enzyme, then this greater portion is the active site. So the active site of the enzyme is that place, that portion where you put the substrate for catalysis to take place. Now, next is turnover number. Turnover number is also given as K-cat. And turnover number, we said, is given as Vmax all over total enzyme. Vmax is maximum velocity. It is total enzyme. And I gave you that K-cat or turnover number is the maximum number of what? Substrate that is converted to product, right? By a specific amount of enzyme at a particular time. So we are looking at how many cassava did we grind with one machine in so time. Do we get? The turnover number is the amount of product of substrate converted to product by a specific concentration of enzyme at specified time. That is the turnover number. As we go on, we'll see more of this. But if you forget anything I've said today, don't forget anything. Don't forget that the protein portion of the enzyme is called the what? Apoenzyme. And the non-protein portion is called the what? And if the cofactor is organic, you call it what? Coenzyme. If it is a metal, you call it what? If it is organic or inorganic, you call it what? Prosthetic group, right? Prosthetic group can either be organic or inorganic. Then the whole enzyme consisting of the proteinous and the non-proteinous part is called the what? Holoenzyme. And enzymes that have different amino acid sequence but catalyze the same reaction, you call them what? Isoenzyme. Then the substance that you're giving to the enzyme to catalyze is called the what? And that particular point where you place the substrates with the enzyme is called the what? The active site of the enzyme. Any question? This is the background. We want to go into enzymology. Enzymology is the study of enzymes. We want to study enzymes.